But first, Katie, an ABC 15 investigation. No one disputes that our full disclosure investigation exposes major problems with Arizona's Brady lists. They're lists prosecutors use to track police who lie, commit crimes, and have integrity issues. For 60 years, the Supreme Court has required that information about officers be disclosed in cases. But we found there isn't a statewide list, there's no mandatory reporting, and there's no one overseeing the process. The problems are obvious. So the question, why haven't officials fixed them? Tonight, ABC 15 investigator Dave Biscobing pins down top officials to make sure Arizona finally gets this right.
Full disclosure, we've aired more than an hour of investigations revealing the everyday harm of Brady List officers and the havoc they create. Lies, excessive force, bad arrests, alleged sex assaults.
Change needs to happen with county attorneys and lawmakers. They're responsible. They're the ones that have the power to fix this. So we interviewed Maricopa County Attorney Alistair Adele, her election opponent Julie Gunnigal, Pinal County Attorney Kent Volkmer, incoming Pima County Attorney Laura Conover, state lawmakers John Kavanaugh and Reginald Boulding, and State Police Board Director Matt Giordano.
Now our first problem is with the Brady List itself. No one is keeping a statewide list. Every county keeps their own. Officers slip through the cracks. It's why we created our own. 1,400 law enforcement officials going back 20 years. Here's incumbent Alistair Adele.
I've been working with the other 14 county attorneys. We will have the ability for the public to look up an officer statewide. And so we're in the process of doing that.
Adele initially chose only to answer some of our questions in writing. So you're about to see reporter Courtney Holmes ask questions on my behalf during another interview.
But we've been working on that since I started, actually.
Is that something that's public knowledge?
It might be.
Okay.
It's Arizona Prosecuting Attorney Advisory Council.
She's talking about an official state council of county attorneys, APAC.
Does it say what offenses the officer had, or will it just
No, it just shows that they're on the list or they're not.
Kent Volkmer highlighted the same thing.
There's no state in the country that has an official statewide list.
Understood. Right.
So
of course.
I think this is important for you to understand. APAC is ahead of the curve. I do think we should get a little credit for that because nobody else has taken that step.
Adele and Volkmer want credit for something that hasn't been finished yet. In fact, APAC and its county attorneys have been promising a statewide list for years, and it won't even be mandatory for counties to participate. And while it might be true that no other states have yet, it's not true nobody else has. Again, we did. It's been on ABC15.com for 6 months.
Do you think that it should be taking this long to get a public database of all Brady officers out there and compiled?
Absolutely not. This is something that should have been done years ago.
The next problem. Officers' lies in crimes not reported to the state police board to see if they should still be licensed. We found 400 times, at least, police and prosecutors didn't refer a Brady case to AZ Post. When that doesn't happen, you end up with departments like Superior, where we found an obscene level of misconduct.
That's one of the things that I'm willing to commit to is those referrals when the prosecutors see them.
That's a major commitment from the candidate against Adele for the state's largest county attorney's office. And the person who will take over the second largest county in January says she's going to do it.
There should be nothing prohibiting the county attorney from going straight to AZ Post themselves. Would AZ Post welcome that kind of inquiry directly from the county attorney's office?
ABC 15 reporter Melissa Blasius asked AZ Post executive director Matt Giordano.
Integrity violation is paramount to the police profession and should come to Arizona Post for the board to have the ability to look at that person's certification.
So you'd like to see every Brady case?
I would think so, yes.
But state law doesn't require police and prosecutors to report all level Brady violations to the state board. That's another problem. They can choose to keep egregious misconduct quiet, in-house, like we found in Glendale, where an officer who made up an alleged blinker violation then tasered the handcuffed passenger in the groin.
The way the statute's written, agencies are only required to report things to us when someone separates employment.
Statutes, as in laws, meaning lawmakers have to change them. So bring in the lawmakers, Republican John Kavanaugh and Democrat Representative Reginald Boulding. Kavanaugh thinks Brady List should exist, but should not be public record.
There are a lot of unanswered questions about how to put this list together and due process procedures for cops.
Our investigation exposed how a Phoenix sergeant was accused of being a liar and placed on the list because he exposed the city of Phoenix grossly lying about ransom kidnapping statistics to get millions in federal grants.
This may suggests that you need to have a neutral body make a decision, not the prosecutor, not the police chief, a neutral panel.
For different reasons, others agree.
Independent unit, because there's an inherent conflict of interest between prosecutors and police.
I don't want to trade one due process problem for another.
As for Representative Bolding, he promises legislation that would make a lot of the Brady problems moot.
100% plan on introducing legislation that will ensure that there is a peace officer database for disciplinary actions. The public deserves to know that.
A central repository for all sustained misconduct for all Arizona police officers.
We do it for our teachers. We do it for our doctors. We do it for our lawyers. And why shouldn't we do it with law enforcement officers?
I'm Investigator Dave Biscobing, ABC 15, Arizona.
One last point. We've talked about Brady lists. Going one step further, though, are no-call lists. That's where prosecutors refuse to even let certain officers testify. Maricopa County candidate Gunnigal says she'll look at starting a no-call list. So will incoming Pima County attorney Laura Conover. Alistair Adele would not commit to creating one.